Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the webinar. Today, we're going to discuss all things LinkedIn, including what it is, how it works, and how you can use it to connect with your clients. But first, we have a little bit of housekeeping, as we usually do. Your phones will be muted throughout the webinar, but if you have a question, you can type it into the question box. We'll have a short Q&A at the end of the presentation. If you don't already know, my name is Jess Larkin, and I'm the Marketing Communications Specialist at Cornerstone. My information is right there on the screen if you'd like to get in contact with me. Also, give us a follow on social media. We post industry and Cornerstone updates and information. Go to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or YouTube to give us a follow. Check out Cornerstone's COVID-19 information pages on the Cornerstone website, where we post the latest carrier and legislative guidance and information regarding the virus. These pages are updated daily with the latest information, so check that out on the Cornerstone homepage. Autopilot is a compensation-based client referral program that refers the services of licensed representatives to quote, enroll, support, and provide year-round services to clients that may fall out of your business scope but never off your radar. Activate Autopilot today on the Cornerstone website. Who loves cash? I sure do. Cornerstone's 2021 Agent Incentive Program rewards you for your new group and individual sales. The top 20 qualifiers will receive cash prizes up to $5,000, plus one lucky qualifier is going to win a weekend getaway. You can register online at crnstone.com. Okay, let's jump right in, and we're going to talk about the Internet's premier resource for business to connect with clients. LinkedIn launched May 5th, 2003 by Reid Hoffman and team members from PayPal and SocialNet.com with the intention of professional networking. Today, LinkedIn is the premier online resource for professional networking and building a career through social media. This platform is going to be particularly useful for those of you in the employee benefits market because your clients, who are mostly professionals, may have a LinkedIn page that they want to use to keep in touch with their contacts. For those of you in the individual and Medicare space, I wouldn't say LinkedIn is your go-to social media profile, but it doesn't hurt to have one if you're looking to expand your business and recruit new talent. LinkedIn was created with networking and connecting in mind, making it a great platform to reach out to prospective clients and to employees. Like Facebook, you're able to share content on LinkedIn, which will make it easier for prospects to connect with you. On LinkedIn, you're likely to post information about business productivity tips, tricks, stories, industry updates, educational resources, and also like Facebook, you're able to like, comment, and share posts from your connections. Once you set up your LinkedIn account, you'll be able to post, follow other organizations and professionals, react to posts from those who you follow, create a business profile, set up job alerts, etc. And today we're just going to cover the basics. So how to set up a profile, how to post and engage with the posts of the people that you follow, how to follow others, and how to just navigate the site in general. And getting started is super, super easy. So all we have to do is go to linkedin.com. So let me go ahead and get out of this. Hold it up here for you. You just go to linkedin.com and click Join Now at the top right-hand corner of the screen. And from there, it's just going to ask you to enter your email and a password of 6 or more characters, and then you're going to click Agree and Join. You'll then enter your first and last name, and you're going to follow some other prompts that's going to help you get your profile started, including your current job title, the company that you work for, and any kind of connections that you would like to make right off the bat based on that information. You're then going to add a headshot, connect with your colleagues, set up job alerts if you're looking for a new position, etc. As with most social media these days, LinkedIn setup process is super simple and intuitive, and they're going to walk you through all of the steps one at a time. Here, we're going to be playing around with the profile of our good friend, Stuart Stone. If you've been on these webinars for the past couple of years, you might know that Stuart Connor Stone is our go-to guy for tutorials just like this. So I'm going to go ahead and sign into his LinkedIn account. All right, I created a profile for Stuart so we can get a good look at how LinkedIn worked as a brand new user. First, we're going to buff up Stuart's profile so his connections can learn who he is, and so he's more marketable if he decides to enter the job market. All we need to do to edit Stuart's profile is click on his profile picture on the left-hand side of the homepage. So here's Stuart. We're just going to click on his image, and it's going to bring us right to his profile. Once we're here, you'll be able to add any professional information about yourself, including your job history, a summary about your expertise, your experience, etc. If you click on Add a Profile section at the top, which is right here, you'll be able to add different information to your profile, including your work experience, education, licenses, and certificates, which is a particularly important section for you as an agent, and any volunteer experience. And volunteer experience is also important because clients like to know that you're involved in their community in more ways than one. You can also showcase your skills, accomplishments, and any additional information that your clients might find useful. Here on Stuart's profile, we can see that he is an icon at Cornerstone Broker Insurance Services Agency, but he still has quite a bit left to do on his profile. When you scroll down a bit, you can see that he's still considered a beginner with his profile strengths. However, LinkedIn's going to make it really easy for him to buff up his profile and make the most of it. So once you have your profile set up, go to this section on your profile and answer the questions provided by LinkedIn as they appear. This is going to help you buff up that profile. So if you click on here, it's going to give you options for things that you could add to make your profile a little bit stronger. And this is the simplest way to get started with your profile and to get an understanding of how the mechanics work and how to tweak it to make it stronger after those questions are all done. I highly recommend starting here once you're set up with your username and password. So if we click on the button that is recommended by LinkedIn, so when did you work at Cornerstone, and we add the work dates, then we can easily input the information that they're looking for. So if I click on that, I'm able to add the start date for Stuart Cornerstone. He started with us probably 2016, and he's still there today. And then we're going to go ahead and add that to the profile. And then we're reached to intermediate. So it's as simple as that. And then it's going to continue asking you questions that will help you make your profile stronger. So scrolling down, we can see that we have a dashboard. It says your dashboard that's private to you. And that's where we can review the analytics of our personal profile, including how many people have viewed our profile, how many people read any articles that we've posted, and how many times we've appeared in a search. These are useful metrics to determine the strength of not only your profile, but the information that you post on LinkedIn. And last but not least, we have our profile sections, which right now only includes Stuart's experience. Like I said, you can add additional sections to your profile by simply clicking the Add Profile section dropdown at the top of the page. So right here. So if you clicked on licenses and certificates, this information will pop up for you to enter, and then you are able to save it and it will become a part of your profile. So for instance, on licenses and certificates, maybe you want to put your insurance license on there. So now that we have an understanding of what a beginning profile page looks like, let's take a look at a profile that is optimized to its greatest potential and has yielded above average results, just so that you can get a good 360 view at what a strong profile page looks like. So to get a better look at a profile that really shines, let's take a look at Jeff Weiners. Jeff is the CEO of LinkedIn, so you know he's going to have a killer profile. So to find Jeff's profile, all we're going to do is click on search at the top left-hand corner of the screen, and we're going to type in his name. As you can see, as I was preparing for this webinar, I've already typed it in, so he's a recent. We're just going to click on that. And this is how you're going to be able to start finding your connections, is through that search bar. So I would recommend that you start by connecting with your colleagues, your coworkers, friends, family, etc. And this is going to help you, like I said, buff up your profile, and it's going to give your connections a chance to share your posts so that their connections can see them, just like it works on Facebook. And this is where making connections with your colleagues and collaborating through social media can be a huge benefit. So let's look at Jeff Weiners' profile. As you can see, his profile pops right up, and we're able to click on it and discover more about him. If you'd like to follow him, he actually has a follow button available right there on the home page. But for most people, you'll need to click on the more button to the right to find the follow button. So it would say follow right here for anybody else. I'm assuming because he's the CEO at LinkedIn that he probably has a special little button here. So I'm going to click on that so that when Stuart goes back to his homepage, then he's going to be able to see all of Jeff Weiner's posts and his activity on the homepage. Right from the jump, we can see that Jeff Weiner is from the Bay Area, and he's the CEO of LinkedIn, and he has more than 10 million followers, and he's quick to tell us what he's about with his About section. So that's right here. The About or Summary section of your profile is considered to be the most read section of your profile. So feel free to use all 2,000 available characters to let people know who you are, how you got started in the industry, and where you are today. If you're looking to use LinkedIn to connect with clients, I would recommend a mixture of personal and professional information in the About section. So as you can see, if we click Learn More, Jeff really takes advantage of this real estate and gives his connections a good look at his work history and experience and why he's fit for the job that he has. Scrolling down, we can see featured successful posts from Jeff, which makes sense because he's the CEO of the platform, including an article he wrote regarding his new position at LinkedIn. Right below the featured posts, we have an activity box, which includes comments on his connections posts, his shares, any recent posts he's made, etc. To see all, you can click on See All right at the top-hand corner of the box, and that's going to bring you to a full portfolio of Jeff's activity on LinkedIn as it happens. This is how your connections will be able to see your activity on LinkedIn, including the posts you make, who you're connecting with, who you're following, etc. So going back to Jeff's profile, we're now going to scroll down to his work experience section. And this is where you can see that he has a pretty varied background. And within the experience section, he includes information about when he worked in those positions, for what company, and a brief description of what he did there, as well as any links that might buff up this profile. So as CEO of LinkedIn, you can see that he's got a couple videos that he's featured in that he decided to link to, as well as some articles. So that might be a good place for you to put your website for your agency, or any links to white papers or additional information that you might want to share. But this entire profile here is going to act like a resume. So keep that in mind as you add your information. It's as if you're asking for your clients to recruit you, and it's important to come up with a resume that's going to shine for them. Scrolling down even more, we can see his education right here, his skills and endorsements. And his endorsements and recommendations are going to be very valuable. Your skills and endorsements are going to be very valuable for you as you buff up your profile. If you work with a happy client, or if you're looking to change career paths, this is where you can ask your connections to provide an endorsement of your work, skills, and character. As you can see here, Jeff has an endorsement from several people for his leadership skills, his entrepreneurship, his strategy, and more. He also has some recommendations from his connections right below the endorsements box. And this is basically a section where people can leave testimonials about you, and it's very valuable for making connections and using LinkedIn to your greatest advantage. And I highly recommend you utilize this section to its fullest potential once you get your feet on the ground and make connections on LinkedIn. So this is very important right here. Finally, we can see that Jeff has outlined his interests, including Mark Cuban, Stanford University, LinkedIn, and so on. Obviously, Jeff's profile is really going to shine because he's the CEO of the platform, but it's a great outline for you to follow to make sure that you're including all the information that you can to make your profile strong. Like I said, start with LinkedIn's tutorial phase and go from there. Let's go back to the LinkedIn homepage so we can see what it's really all about. So when you log into your using your username and password, this is what's going to pop up for you. This is your feed. And to return back to the home screen at any time, all you would do is click on this LinkedIn icon at the top left corner. And as you can see at the top of the homepage, LinkedIn is constantly giving you tips and reminders to buff up your profile for the best results. So following these prompts like building your network, personalizing your feed, etc., And adding the information when it recommends that you do so is going to help your profile and your post become more successful. Scrolling down a bit, you can see on the right-hand side of the screen that there are news updates provided by LinkedIn. And these are typically thrown out there when LinkedIn notices that a number of its users are posting about or interacting with posts about a specific topic. The majority of the page, however, is where you can see posts and information from your connections. So let's talk about how to post on LinkedIn. As you can see, there's a box that says Start Post right at the top here. And this social media platform operates just like Facebook and how the post publisher functions. All you do is click into the box, and then you're going to type into the box whatever it is that you want to say. Add any media like photos, videos, your links, and voila, your post can be shared. You can also tag connections by using the @ symbol. So for example, if you want to tag Jeff Weiner in a post, you could type @ like that, and then his name. And then he pops up there, and then you would click on it, and he would see it, and he would receive a notification that a post was made about him. You can also include hashtags that will help others find your profile, just like you do when you use Facebook. All you would do is click on Add Hashtag, and then use a common hashtag. You can easily find the most common hashtags for LinkedIn by doing a quick Google search. Hashtag Fact Friday is a hashtag that I commonly use, but LinkedIn also provides recommended hashtags that are currently popular to help you determine which ones to use. However, you want to be sure that you're only using hashtags that make sense with your post. A hashtag about Teacher Appreciation Week, for example, would not necessarily be appropriate, nor would it really benefit your LinkedIn posting goals. Using hashtags on LinkedIn is going to make your content more discoverable, and it's going to help you connect with members that might be interested in your company. Adding hashtags to your updates and articles gives them a higher chance of being discovered by LinkedIn members who follow or search for the hashtag that you've used. So that's the importance of it. So you want to play around with them and see which ones work better than others. See, they're going to recommend your hashtags right here. One great thing about LinkedIn too is that you can also share PDFs to your profile, which could be useful when communicating with current and prospective clients. So that's this button right here, and you would just choose the file. So I created a simple post on LinkedIn, and then all I want to do is click Post, and the post will be available for the world or all of our connections to see. LinkedIn also gives you the opportunity to post white papers and articles, and this is where you can really show off your knowledge in the industry and perhaps reach out to other professionals if you're looking to expand your business with some new recruits. So all you would do with that is just go to this post area here and click Write an Article, and it's going to walk you through. So you can add a image, you would add your headline, and then you would just start writing the article. So what should you post on LinkedIn? LinkedIn is very similar to Facebook in that you can post educational resources, expert advice, industry articles, and so on. But your audience is a bit different because the platform is specifically designed for professionals, not personal connections, though you can still establish personal connections here. That's just not necessarily what the platform was designed for. If you've joined in on my social media webinars in the past, you know that I have a list of questions that I ask myself before I post anything on social media, so I'll bring that up right here. These questions will help you determine what posts are right to share on your social media platforms in the beginning, both professionally and personally. I suggest that you print these questions out and keep them on your desk for the first couple weeks of posting and walking through each question before deciding to share on your social media platforms. So those questions are, does this post represent my brand? Does this post add value to my followers, or will it just be more social media noise? What's your goal for this post? Will the post spark a conversation or encourage engagement? Or would you share this post with a friend? Remember that your social media profiles are a direct reflection of your business identity, so you want to be sure that you're putting your best face forward, especially if you're looking to communicate with clients. For your reference, I've included this handout on your GoToWebinar dashboard, and you can download that PDF, print it out, and review it as you post. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and exit out of that. Now let's take a look at how we can interact with other posts. So we're going to scroll down to an active post that appears on our feed. So keep scrolling. We have one from Encompass Insurance that is promoted. So that's the reason that that pops up. Let's see here. Beam Dental. Sure. Let's interact with that post. So when you log in, like I said, when you log into Facebook, you're going to be brought directly to your feed. So you can continue to scroll through and see what your connections are posting. As you make more connections, more of these posts are going to pop up. Obviously, the only person that Stuart Stone is following is Jeff Weiner. So we're not going to get a whole lot of posts just yet, but we can interact with this promoted post. And a promoted post is just advertising. So as with Facebook, it's important to interact with your connections through commenting, liking, and sharing their posts. So scrolling down here, we can see that we can like, comment on, or share. To like, all we do is click on the like button. And just by scrolling over the button, you can see that we're given options to label the post with a like, celebrate, love, insightful, or curious, which is a cool dynamic way to interact. We're also able to comment by clicking on the comment box and then adding our comment. And just like with writing posts, you can also tag other people and use hashtags in your comments. And by clicking share, you're sharing that post on your own profile for your connections to see. And that's kind of how it all works too. And that's how you gain a bigger following, is by following other people and posting, and those people might share your posts and their connections would see it. So it's a great tool for recruitment of new clients. Now that you have a profile and you know how to post, let's walk through the other basic functions of LinkedIn. At the top right-hand side of the screen, you're going to see Home, My Network, Jobs, Messaging, Notifications, and Me. Clicking on the Home button, just like you would think, takes you to back to your feed where the most recent posts from both you and your connections are going to appear. So this page right here is where you'll go if you click on the Home button. If you click on My Network, LinkedIn is going to show you any pending invitations from connections you might know, or those who may just be interested in getting in contact with you. If someone does send a request over to you, you'll be able to review their profile and their credentials to make sure that there's someone you want to connect with. A red notification bubble is going to appear over My Network if you have any invitations, just like it does right here with notifications. And under this tab, you're also able to review pages, groups, hashtags, and connections that are within your network. So you can see that right here. These are from the people that you're already following. So I'm already following Jeff Weiner. That's the one person I follow. Scrolling down, you can see that LinkedIn provides suggestions for people that you may know who may want to connect with you on LinkedIn. And because Stuart, quote unquote, works at Cornerstone, you can see most Cornerstone representatives will be available for him to connect with under this tab. So I could connect with my friend Jamie Bryan from Human Resources. And all you would have to do is click connect, and you'll be able to follow their posts and interact with them. LinkedIn also provides options for connections by location, industry, interest, skills, and so on. It's essentially a giant database. So if you're looking to use it to network, recruit, or attract clients, this is a great place to start. Start making connections and watch your following build from there. Going back to the top of the screen, we're going to go ahead and click on Jobs. One of LinkedIn's most important functions is to provide a space for professionals to connect and grow their career. In doing so, they created a job portal that you can use to your advantage if you're looking to grow your team or if you're looking to switch up careers for yourself. Clicking on this button, you're only able to see current job openings by search, by industry, by interest, etc. And LinkedIn even has suggested job searches based on your profile, which is just one more reason to make sure that you have profiles optimized for the site. It comes into play very, very often. So like I said, if you log into LinkedIn for the first time, always do your profile first. If you're looking to post a job opportunity to the site, so if you want to grow your business and you're looking to add a couple more people to your team, you would click on the work dropdown at the top right-hand corner, which is right here, and you would click post a job. As with most of its features, LinkedIn will walk you through posting a job step by step, but you do have to have access to LinkedIn Talent Solutions. And if you'd like a more in-depth review of how you can use LinkedIn for recruiting your team, let me know in the survey following this webinar, because I'd be happy to cover that. Next up, we have messaging. LinkedIn allows you to send and receive direct messages, just like on Facebook. If you receive a message from a connection or prospective connection, a red bubble is going to appear next to the box at the bottom of the screen or at the top where it says messaging, just like it does with notifications. So you can check your messages down here, or you can check them by clicking on messaging. Your notifications are going to be listed under the notifications button at the top. As with messages, a red dot will appear over this button if you have any pending notifications, so it looks like I do. Some examples of notifications that may appear on here would be if someone were to like or comment on or share your post, if someone were to endorse you for a specific skill or provide a recommendation for your experience, and so on. It's important to keep up with your notifications so that you can provide the same value to your connections. So if somebody were to endorse you for a skill, perhaps you can go back and endorse them as well. Under the Me dropdown at the top corner again, you'll be able to access your LinkedIn assets, which includes your profile, your activity page, which is just like the one that we reviewed on Jeff Weiner's page, any company pages that you might be the administrator on, and your settings, just in case you'd like to tinker with your security and account settings. I've received a lot of questions about whether or not having a company page is absolutely necessary. I would say that if your agency has multiple team members whose presence on the page will be of a benefit to growing your business, so if, for example, you have multiple agents working under your agency, it would be worth creating a company page for your business. If you're a one-man or a one-woman show with your agency, your personal LinkedIn profile might just do fine. The benefit of creating a company page if you have multiple agents is that each of those agents can use their personal profile to link to your company page through their job title, just like what you might see when you see Cornerstone's page. They typically have their job title, and then any Cornerstone agents have a link that connects directly to the Cornerstone page, which really helps us out. A company page is totally free, and it's an often overlooked marketing tool that can help you differentiate yourself from your competitors. You can post educational and promotional resources about your business that link to your website or your other social media accounts, and it can help you improve your ranking and search results on Google and other search engines. That's also something to keep in mind. If you'd like to learn more about creating a company page, you can let me know in the survey following this presentation, and I will do a walkthrough in 2020 of exactly how to create that page. Okay, that was a lot of information. And if you're interested, like I said, in a LinkedIn 201 webinar in the 2020 webinar series, please be sure to let me know in the survey following this presentation. In that webinar, I can cover creating a company page, which we didn't have too much time to cover in much depth today. I can cover how to use the LinkedIn search function as a database, advertising, SEO, and anything else you might be interested in. So be sure to leave your suggestions in the survey. So now we have some time to take on some of your pressing questions. So if you have anything that you'd like to ask me, feel free to type it into the chat box. Go ahead and open that up. Okay, we got a couple questions here. Any suggestions for those of us who are securities licensed? We are not permitted to have any written recommendations. Any ideas how to use that page? As far as not being able to have any recommendations, a good other thing that you might be able to do, I'm not sure what the restrictions of that license are, but another good idea would be to do endorsements. If you have colleagues who can endorse you based on your skills, like what Jeff Weiner's page said. I'll show you at the bottom here. Give me 1 second. So if we go back to Jeff Weiner's page and we go down to the bottom, this might be another option for you, is if you, instead of doing the recommendations page right here, if you ask your followers to endorse you for a specific skill. So he's had a lot of his followers endorse him for his leadership skills, his entrepreneurship skills, his strategy skills, and there's a bunch of them that people can endorse you for. So if that's another option for you, that's another great way for people to figure out if they'd like to work with you or not. Okay, if you have any questions about your existing profile, you can go ahead and shoot me an email. So I am going to put on my contact information right here. So you can write that down and shoot me an email, and I can set something up with you. Okay, I'm going to give it just a couple more minutes for additional questions. And while I'm waiting for additional questions, I want to let you know that you shouldn't forget to register for our other upcoming webinars in this series and in others. Coming up next, we have a Tech Tuesday webinar on May 19th about data security. And then we have an individual corner webinar on May 20th about marketing to millennials. And as a millennial, that could be a good webinar. You never know. You can register for both on the Cornerstone website under events. Okay, it doesn't look like we have any additional questions. Like I said, if you have any that just pop up after the webinar that you didn't think of until last minute, please feel free to email me or give me a call. I'm happy to walk through your questions with you. The next Build Your Brand webinar is going to be a 201 look at Facebook called Making the Most of Your Facebook Business Profile. And that webinar is going to go more in depth than the first webinar if you joined us for the Facebook 101, as we deep dive into the small tweaks you could be making to your Facebook strategy to improve your engagement, common mistakes that you might make while running your Facebook page for the first time, and more. So you can catch the recording of the first part of the Facebook series on the Resource Center, and you can register for part 2 on the event calendar. It's important to note that I added the Facebook 201 webinar to the schedule as a result of your surveys and feedback. So if you have an idea for a marketing webinar that you'd like to see in the future, please be sure to let me know in the surveys that follow each webinar, and I'll be sure to get something on the calendar for 2020 or 2021. Thank you all for joining us today. If you will receive a copy of the presentation in the next day or two, and it's going to be available on the Resource Center as per usual at www.crnstone.com. I encourage you to replay this webinar recording when you receive it and follow along while you start up your own LinkedIn profile. As I've mentioned 20 times now, if you have a couple minutes after the webinar, please take some time to fill out the survey. Your feedback is incredibly important to us, and it helps us ensure that we're continually providing you with some value. And everyone have a great day and stay safe out there.